The U.S. shale industry is facing a seismic shift that could redefine global energy markets for decades to come. Imagine a scenario where the very resource that once made America a global oil powerhouse is now expected to become more expensive than ever before. According to Enverus Intelligence Research, the marginal cost of producing U.S. shale oil, essentially the cost to extract each additional barrel, is projected to skyrocket from $70 per barrel today to a staggering $95 per barrel by the mid-2030s. But here's where it's controversial. This surge isn't just about inflation or rising labor costs. It's tied to the depletion of prime drilling locations, forcing companies to venture into riskier, less predictable areas. Alex Lubojevic, director at Enverus, puts it plainly. North America's dominance in supplying global oil demand growth is waning. Over the next decade, the region's contribution to global consumption growth is expected to drop below 50%, a sharp contrast to the previous decade when it supplied more than 100% of new demand. That's a seismic shift for an industry built on rapid scalability. And this is the part most people miss. While the Permian Basin in Texas and New Mexico and Canada's oil sands remain the lowest-cost producers, their future isn't exactly rosy. Canada's oil output is forecasted to rise by 450,000 barrels per day by 2030, thanks to infrastructure upgrades and favorable pricing. But even these optimistic projections hinge on a fragile balance: stable prices, fewer regulatory hurdles, and a willingness to invest in speculative projects. Meanwhile, U.S. shale producers are in a holding pattern. With oil prices hovering near break-even levels, companies like Diamondback Energy have slashed capital budgets by hundreds of millions of dollars, betting on efficiency gains rather than aggressive expansion. CEO Kees Van Hoff told shareholders in August, "With volatility and uncertainty persisting, we see no compelling reason to increase activity this year." But here's the real kicker. The Dallas Fed's latest energy survey paints a bleak picture. A staggering 57% of executives reported that regulatory changes under the current administration have barely reduced break-even costs for new wells, less than $1 per barrel. Others admitted to delaying investment decisions due to uncertainty. One executive bluntly accused both past and present administrations of gutting the U.S. shale industry through political hostility and a lack of understanding of market dynamics. What was once the world's most dynamic energy engine has been gutted by political hostility and economic ignorance, they wrote. Another added, instead of supporting domestic production, they've effectively aligned with OPEC, using supply tactics to push prices below economic thresholds, kneecapping U.S. producers in the process. This isn't just about politics. It's about survival. As capital consolidation pushes out smaller, innovative players, the shale revolution's Wild West spirit is fading. In its place, a handful of giants dominate, but at the cost of job losses and a stifled culture of risk-taking. So who's to blame? Is it the industry's own unsustainable practices, or a government that's mismanaged its energy policy? Do you think the U.S. government's policies are inadvertently undermining the very industry it claims to support? Share your thoughts in the comments below. After all, the future of energy isn't just about numbers, it's about choices.